In the vast expanse of the northern wilderness, there exists a village shrouded in whispers and shadows. The locals call it Frost Hollow, a name as chilling as the tales that surround it. Unlike the southern town that vanished without a trace, leaving behind only stories and unease, Frost Hollow remained, visible yet unreachable, a mystery frozen in time. Eli, a curious journalist with a penchant for uncovering the truths behind urban legends, had heard the murmurs about Frost Hollow during his travels. Stories of a village caught in an eternal winter, where time itself seemed to stand still, and its inhabitants were nothing more than ghosts of the past. Driven by the thrill of the chase and the hunger for a story that could make his career, Eli set out to uncover the truth of Frost Hollow. His journey took him through dense forests and over treacherous mountains, far from the comfort of civilization. As he drew closer, the air grew colder, and the world around him seemed to lose its color, drained away by the encroaching frost. When he finally arrived, the village lay before him, just as the stories described, a tableau of ice and snow, buildings preserved as if in a moment of time, abandoned yet perfectly intact. Eli ventured into the heart of the village, his footsteps the only sound in the oppressive silence. He explored house after house, finding remnants of life that once was, a meal half-eaten, a firewood pile untouched by decay, toys left mid-play. It was as if the villagers had simply vanished, leaving behind a ghost town trapped in ice. As night began to fall, Eli realized he was not alone. Shadows moved at the edge of his vision, and whispers filled the air, words indiscernible but filled with an urgency that sent shivers down his spine. He followed these spectral cues, drawn deeper into the mystery of Frost Hollow. In the village square, he found the source of the whispers, a frozen pond, its surface smooth and undisturbed. Around it, the shadows gathered, forming the shapes of people, their features blurred, but their presence undeniable. Eli watched, breath held in anticipation, as the figures began to skate across the ice in a silent dance, reenacting a scene from a time long past. As he reached out to touch the ice, hoping to connect with the apparitions and their lost stories, the ground beneath him trembled. A deep rumbling echoed through the village, growing louder, as if something ancient and powerful was awakening from beneath the frost. Eli stepped back, heart racing, as the ice on the pond began to crack, revealing a glow from beneath. The whispers grew louder, now a cacophony of voices calling out to him, beckoning him closer. But before he could move, a hand grasped his shoulder, pulling him back. He turned to see an old man, his eyes reflecting the wisdom and sorrow of centuries. "You mustn't wake what lies beneath," the man whispered, his voice carrying the weight of untold secrets. The rumbling ceased, and the apparitions faded into the night, leaving Eli and the old man standing alone in the silent village square. "What is this place?" Eli asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The old man looked at him, the stories of Frost Hollow etched in the lines of his face. "This village," he began, "holds a secret far older and darker than you can imagine. And now that you've seen its heart, you cannot leave until the story is complete." The old man's words hung in the air, a promise and a warning, as the mystery of Frost Hollow enveloped Eli, pulling him deeper into its embrace. The story was far from over, and Eli knew that whatever secrets the village held, he was now a part of them. The old man, sensing Eli's burgeoning fear mixed with an insatiable curiosity, gestured for him to follow. They navigated through the desolate streets, with the moon casting long, eerie shadows over the snow-laden village. The silence was oppressive, a thick blanket that seemed to smother every step they took towards an unknown destination. As they walked, the old man began to speak, his voice a low murmur against the howling wind. Frost Hollow was not always this way, he started. Once, it was a vibrant community, full of life and warmth. But it harbored a secret, a pact made generations ago that bound the village to the land in a way no outsider could understand. Eli listened intently, his mind racing to piece together the puzzle. What kind of pact? He dared to ask, his journalistic instincts taking over. The old man stopped in front of what appeared to be an ancient library, its structure untouched by time, unlike the other buildings. A pact with the very essence of winter itself, he said, pushing open the heavy door. To ensure prosperity and protection, our ancestors offered a promise to the spirits of the cold, a promise that has been broken. Inside, the library was lit by a soft, ethereal glow, shelves lined with books that seemed as ancient as the village itself. The old man led Eli to a large tome resting on a pedestal in the center of the room. The book was open to a page marked by a strange symbol, a depiction of a snowflake intertwined with what looked like a human silhouette. This, the old man said, pointing to the symbol, represents the pact, and now the balance has been disturbed. The spirits demand a reckoning. Eli, his skepticism warring with the undeniable truth of what he'd witnessed, felt a chill that had nothing to do with the cold. How can it be restored? He asked, not sure he wanted to hear the answer. The old man sighed, a sound of infinite sadness. The spirits require a guardian, someone to mend the broken bond and stand as a mediator between the world of the living and the eternal winter. Without it, Frost Hollow and everything beyond will succumb to an endless freeze. Eli realized the gravity of the situation, the weight of the choice that lay before him. He was no longer just a journalist searching for a story. He was a key player in the fate of Frost Hollow. The old man looked at Eli with a gaze that bore into his very soul. You've seen the heart of Frost Hollow, felt its pain and its beauty. You could be the one to restore the balance, but it comes with a cost. Eli's heart pounded in his chest. The adventure he sought had led him to a crossroads of myth and reality. He could leave, try to forget the whispers and shadows, or he could embrace the unknown, becoming a part of the village's lore and its protector. As the wind howled outside, rattling the ancient windows of the library, Eli looked from the old man to the tome and back to the frost-bitten village beyond. A decision loomed over him, heavy with consequence and shrouded in mystery. The story of Frost Hollow and Eli's place within it remained unwritten, a path veiled in snow and shadow, leading deeper into the heart of the legend. The journey was far from over, its secrets unfolding like the snowflakes that blanketed the village, each one a promise of revelations yet to come. The silence in the library seemed to press in on Eli as he considered his choice, the weight of destiny heavy upon his shoulders. The old man's eyes never wavered, reflecting a depth of knowledge and sadness that was nearly palpable. It was in this moment, with the whisper of ancient secrets filling the air, that Eli's resolve took shape. He would accept the role of the guardian, binding himself to Frost Hollow, to protect it and the world beyond from the encroaching eternal winter. But as he voiced his decision, a sharp, dissonant laugh cut through the silence. The sound seemed to come from the shadows themselves, growing louder, echoing off the walls of the library. The old man's expression shifted, the sorrow deepening, but not with resignation. There was something else, a hint of something Eli couldn't place. Then the world twisted. The library, the old man, the ancient tome, all flickered like a flame in a strong wind. In an instant, Eli found himself outside, standing in the village square under the clear night sky, the library nowhere in sight. Confusion warred with fear as he spun around, trying to grasp the situation. The old man was there too, but different now. The weight of years seemed to fall away, revealing not an ancient guardian of lore, but a spirit, one of the very beings bound to the pact he had described. The twist, the spirit said, voice echoing with a multitude of tones, is that the guardian is not chosen, the guardian is created. Eli's heart raced as the truth dawned on him. The stories, the journey to Frost Hollow, the specters on the ice, all had been designed to test him, to prepare him for this moment. He had not simply found the story, he had become part of it, a twist of fate he had never anticipated. The spirit continued, your curiosity, your courage, your willingness to embrace the unknown, they led you here, to us. Frost Hollow needed a guardian with the strength to face the eternal winter, yes. But more importantly, it needed one with the heart to understand the balance between our worlds. As the spirit spoke, the shadows around the square began to recede, revealing the villagers, not as specters, but as people of flesh and blood. They had been watching, waiting, trapped in a moment stretched thin by magic and the broken pact. Eli, now understanding his role, felt a power awakening within him, a connection to the land and its spirits. With the acceptance of his new role, the eternal winter began to recede, drawn back by the renewed pact. Frost Hollow stirred to life, color returning to its world as the balance was restored. But the twist of fate was not without its price. Eli knew he could never return to his old life, his old self. He had become part of something greater, a story woven into the fabric of Frost Hollow. As guardian, he would watch over the village and the balance between the worlds, a bridge between the human and the spirit, forever part of the legend. The tale of Frost Hollow and its new guardian spread beyond the frozen borders, a story of mystery, sacrifice, and a twist of fate that bound a man to a village lost in time. And though Eli had sought a story to tell, he found himself living a legend that would be told for generations to come, a reminder of the thin line between the known and the unknown, and the power of destiny to shape our paths. Thank you for listening to my channel.